Well, the conflict in the Middle East is putting pressure on Republicans to choose a replacement for House Speaker. Without someone in the role, business in the House has come to a halt. For more on this, we're joined by CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane. Scott, it was interesting yesterday, as I'm sure it was for us, as it is for you, to see former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy yesterday delivering some remarks to reporters, almost speaking as if he were still the House Speaker. And I suspect that is because a lot of people are scratching their heads, wondering if there isn't a Speaker of the House of Representatives, how can the U.S. continue to conduct its support for Israel? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Vlad, there's a lot of things Congress wants to do. On a bipartisan basis, they want to pass a resolution to denounce formally the attack against Israel. And it's quite likely they're going to need to move swiftly to approve some new aid, financial aid, potentially new munitions for Israel. And Congress just can't do either of those things because they're paralyzed by this internal speaker standoff. And this is a logjam, Vlad, that appears to be a longer-term logjam than some might have expected. The two leading candidates to be the next speaker meet behind closed doors today with several groups of Republicans, including the entire Republican conference. There could be a vote as early as tomorrow for Republicans to pick one of them, but they're really rendering each other unelectable. They both have a base of support, and to win in the Republican conference's nomination for speaker, you kind of have to run the table, and neither can do that with the other in the race.
And, you know, it's certainly an interesting time when it comes to spending and aid, because it's not just support for Israel. As you know, aid for Ukraine is also tied up. But I wonder if the two are sort of tied together when it comes to, you know, the House sort of moving forward.
Anne-Marie, there may be some push to tie them together to make an emergency request for both emergency funding for Ukraine and emergency funding for Israel. The word emergency is not trivial, obviously. This is part of the pitch to get the money approved. But that Ukraine aid money was one of the wedge issues that has caused all this chaos here in Congress. There's a number of Republicans, by the dozens, who don't support continued U.S. taxpayer money for Ukraine. It has been a destabilizing issue. To put that together with Israeli money, which may be universal in its support in Congress, could clog up both. That may not be an advantageous situation. So that's a big issue to work out, potentially, Anne-Marie and Vlad, during this debate over who should be the next speaker.
So let's talk about that, Scott, because we know that Congress is back in town today. I'm sort of curious, with all that's going on in the world right now, with what's happening in Israel and in Gaza, what's going on in Ukraine, the things that are happening at the southern border of the United States, there is not a House Speaker. We know that Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan have thrown their hats into the ring. You and others that are reporting from there say that they may not have 218. They may not have the necessary votes, either of those guys, to be the next House Speaker. We see Kevin McCarthy sort of sniffing around, saying, hey, if you need me, yeah. Exactly. If you need me, I'll come back. But I wonder, Scott, this is the long soliloquy to my question. I wonder if there is potentially another dark horse Republican candidate that might even get some support from Hakeem Jeffries and a number of Democrats. In other words, a consensus moderate Republican that everybody can agree on. Your thoughts?
Feels like a long shot to get Democratic support, but will there be a third name, a dark horse? We're about to find out. It may be necessary because you have Jim Jordan, chair of the House Judiciary Committee from Ohio. You have Steve Scalise, majority leader from Louisiana, each with this list of endorsements, rendering each other unelectable for that reason. Now, Jim Jordan has an edge. He got it over the weekend, an endorsement from former President Donald Trump. But even though this is kind of a Republican-on-Republican battle, it may not be a silver bullet. And we brought that question to one of Jim Jordan's biggest emissaries, his fellow Ohioan, Mike Carey. Take a listen.
I don't know that it wins over everybody, but I think, that is the job of Jim Jordan. And I think Jim Jordan has a message that can win over everybody. And I think you've seen many of the people that did not support the speaker in the multiple rounds that we went through in January, many of them, they nominated Jim. So I think we're going to have them, and we're building our base.
Vlad and Anne-Marie, Steve Scalise's camp tells me they're making the argument that Scalise is a unifier, a contrast. This is going to go a while. The earliest the vote can happen is tomorrow morning, but I wouldn't bet the mortgage on it.
So, Scott, wait. What about the baggage that Jim Jordan brings to the table? You're already starting to hear from people in Congress that his time as an assistant coach at, where was the school? I forget.
I forgot.
In Ohio.
But I know Scott remembers.
Yeah, Scott. But I know that there's some people, it hasn't sort of been in the news cycle previous to this, but now people are talking about it again.
Well, let's address the criticism he got from Liz Cheney last week, that he, more than any other member of Congress, was allied with Donald Trump during efforts to overturn the 2020 election and baseless election claims. His supporters say Jim Jordan is in himself somebody who can unify the Republican Party because he can get the Trump allies who deposed Kevin McCarthy under reins, but also speak for the conservatives. He's got the whole Ohio delegation nearly behind him. There are different arguments about who can unify, but at this point, unless Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan unify, this thing's going to be protracted for quite a while.
All right, Scott MacFarlane, thank you.